Hey there, analysts. Welcome back to another tutorial of Zoho Analytics. This video is mainly for Zoho Analytics admin and managers of Zoho Analytics users. So if you are not one of those, I would honestly just skip this video because it's going to be really boring and not stuff you need to know. Go find a cooler video like how to build charts. Now, if you are an admin, let's come on up here to the settings cog up here in the top right corner. Once we click that, it's going to open up our organization settings. Now, there are other videos I've created that will explain many of these other options, and some of them are pretty cool and very important to know. But today, we're going to jump down to data administration and then audit logs. Now, you can see that I have three different options here. By default, these are all turned off. I have manually turned each of them on because they're really important for me to have. Now, first up, we have access logs. This access log allows you to see every single user and every single time they access any workspace. So in just a minute, I'll jump over to that screen and show you an example of that. Now, activity logs does the same, very similar thing. It logs every single activity that is done in any of your workspaces. And then API logs every single time an API call is made or fetched. Anything that goes on with those logs is logged in there. Man, I'm saying logs a lot of times. Once we have these turned on, they will create this little dashboard link here on the right-hand side, and they will also pull in tables into a separate workspace. So you will not find this in the same workspace. It will actually, when you turn them on, pop up and say, hey, this has been created in a separate workspace. And here, in this tab, I already have it opened up in my separate workspace. So you can see I do all my work in my Analytics Insight tab. Up here in the top right-hand corner, you can see my Analytics Insight tab where I do my work. And right now I'm in Zoho Analytics Audits. So this is automatically created once you turn one or all of those on. Now here I'm in my Activity Logs tab, and you can find this by going into your data, and you have all three that you've turned on here. So what this does is, as I explained before, it allows you to see the exact time, who did what, the action they did. There's different categories. You can get really nitty-gritty into the details if you look through the Zoho documentation, and actually make sure you look in the description below because I'll leave a link to that. It's really interesting for analytics nerds like me. Workspace name, where did they do the activity, the view name. So my view name is actually untitled. It's not just a default here. The name's actually untitled. So that is what I changed for an example. And this is the details of exactly what you changed on the charts. So you can see here, I went into a chart on January 24th at 4:16 p.m. I renamed the chart here, and you can see view name was changed to untitled, and I didn't put a description. And then you can see just after that, 2 seconds after that, I went and modified the view of untitled, and I changed the y-axis so it had the last name, actual values, and the x-axis so it had standard deviation of the IDs without any filters or user filters on that chart. It also can tell you, these remarks are a little bit redundant, but it will tell you the IP address of the computer that did it, along with the operating system and some other things about their browser and computer. Next, we can move on to access logs. So this is automatically pulled in, as I mentioned before, and tells some of the same things. But it's not going to tell you what they did because that's only an activity log. Now, you can see that I have logged in many times. It logs it every single time you access anything. So these reports can get gigantic. But do remember, if you turn these on, these do not count against the rows that Zoho charges you for. So having these on isn't going to cost any more, and it adds a little level of security and also a level of detail where you can, as managers and admin, can see exactly who is doing what. And this has actually really been helpful for me in the workplace as someone has made a change or deleted something. You know, someone comes to get mad at you for messing up their charts, and you can come in here and say, nope, nobody on my team even touched that. Looks like you accidentally did it. And that saves you a whole lot of work and stress, because you know that all you need to do is probably restrict their permissions. But it wasn't your fault, and this is the way you can prove it. So here in the access logs, you can see the person who accessed it, their email, which is also what you've sent them to sign up for their username to get access to analytics. You can see which workspace they were in when they accessed it, what view they accessed, and what type of thing it was. So was it a chart view? Was it a pivot view? Was it a table? You can see their IP address and then also some other browser information. Now, I do not have anything in my API logs because currently I don't have any APIs running into this. Now, the last thing I want to show is dashboards. These are automatically built when you turn all of those on. So I'm going to come into access logs just for an example, and here we go. From my access logs table up here, this dashboard was automatically created and shows me that there is 21 times someone has accessed something, unique views 7, user count 2. So 2 different users have accessed it. You can see the trends over time, what they accessed. You can see who accessed it. You can also see some other charts and things that can maybe be able to give you a better view than just looking at the pure data here, since, as I mentioned, these logs will get super long. All right, that's it for this video. Make sure you like and subscribe and hit that little notification button so that you can keep up to date with all these analytics tutorials. And let me know in the comments if there's anything you want to learn that I haven't covered yet. We'll see you later.